Good evening, everybody. My name is Ito, and welcome back for more ESEA Advanced Season 34. My name is Ito, and I'm happy to try to bring you through this one here. This is going to be a bit of an interesting game. These are two 3-3 teams in the season who are obviously looking to improve their record, but some of them have come across a little bit of turbulence. Now, doing a little bit of research for this roster, I just tried to see if either of these teams have had to face off against the same team together. You know, maybe just kind of see how they deal with the head-to-head or nice little knife round there. Sorry. How they deal with the head-to-head and how they've like competed against other teams, because I feel like that's one of the few metrics that can actually kind of go on, as flawed as it is. And both these teams have actually faced off against Addis, with Springroll actually losing 16-8 and Cobalt United just barely beating them 22-19. So at least when you come to the head-to-head part of this, it is going to be an interesting matchup, and I'm really happy to see how these two 3-3 teams fare. And actually, it's going to be on Vertigo as well, which is not one of my favorite maps to spectate. So, you know, be patient with me here. It might not be the smoothest experience, but we'll try to make it through this one together here. Now, Clip Sanity is already going to be going for a clip over towards mid-A here, and immediately spots one by the ramp. We'll bring a rotate in, and actually they're just going to be playing retake. Look at this. They're actually rotating all the way around and taking it a bit from an alternative angle. As the bomb gets planted from Springroll, we enter a 5-on-5 retake, so already a bit of a tricky scenario for the T side here. XM will be tossing down a smoke. Let's go ahead and try to buy a little bit more time here, and also has a flashbang at the ready to try to help his teammates play contact and possibly secure a pick onto that bomb when it actually tries getting defused. Now, Clip Sanity also has a kit in play, so it's absolutely vital that he wasn't the first one to go down here. And it's honestly good for Cobalt United. They have yet to really bleed at all, and in fact, they're the ones doing a lot of bleeding here. They're doing so much damage. Just too easy. He's able to get on the bomb, but overwhelmingly taken by Cobalt United. That is absolutely absurd. A fantastic retake there, a triple from Beef, and I believe it was a 2K from Homer. Clean swept that round. That was honestly marvelous. It's a round that I want to look back on just because I feel like even having casted it, I don't believe it was real. Springroll definitely going to get knocked off a peg there. I mean, considering that was a 5 versus 5 and it ended with 4 players left alive for Cobalt United, has to be a pretty they can't really be happy with that result, you know? They'll be buying up pistols again here, trying to get that bomb down once more. But Cobalt United, I have to say, they played that almost to perfection. They had such a specific protocol in mind for when those players were aggressively pushing up towards ramp. And obviously, they just hit the shots right behind it. And speaking of hitting shots, XM is doing just that at mid. But unfortunately, the Woody Fly will get swatted away. And although XD is able to find actually 2 kills with his Tech 9, that kind of gives up his position. So he needs to retrieve the bomb, which would open him up to one sight line, of which he doesn't exactly know where the CT is, and there's still plenty more that he needs to check. All of which COVID-19 have actually done a really decent job at avoiding, and will eventually secure it with a kill at the end of the day. So 2-0, Cobalt United. They convert that second round as well, sustaining a bit of damage, but overall at least piecing it together at the end of the day. Already so much better. I mean, Cobalt United, in their last game, they faced off against, I believe, okay, yes, it was Team Clarity, and it was actually on Vertigo as well. I mean, they won 12-16 there, so, you know, getting off to a pretty nice start. Want to go ahead and try to recreate history. While Springroll, they've also had their moments as a team on this map as well. In particular, a couple of seasons back, I believe it was Woody Fly who dropped something like 40 kills against the now roster of Savage, I believe it was. So, you know, you get to see some things evolve over time here. That being said, though, with time, Cobalt seemed to be aging like a fine wine here. They are doing so much damage, and really, I don't feel like I gave this round the light of day. I mean, Springroll just kind of immediately decided to uphold it over towards a ramp and immediately fell into a stack of multiple CTs out the ready here. Shots through smoke as well came out. And again, as the dust settles, Springroll, 2 players healthy, or 2 players alive, only one of which is even somewhat healthy, rather. Clip Sanity getting a double kill in the round here, and looks like he could have done even more here. XM basically barely staying alive at the moment, only has 2 HP. Well, just too easy will have to be probably the big haymaker, or the Haymaker, I like that. the playmaker and the haymaker is what I was trying to make for my hilarious pun there. But it looks like we don't need any plays whatsoever. Just Too Easy manages to juke out the CTs, get them out of that A bomb site, so that's a free bomb plant secured. Becomes a little bit more possible when it's in a 2 versus 2 situation like this. Gets re-smoked as well to avoid that CT entrance. And almost little utility for Cobalt United to work with. They have a smoke and a grenade, both of which might actually come in handy right about now because Just Too Easy's around the corner. The healthy player ends up getting tagged down eventually by Homer. So patient play and the great trade through makes it so it's now a number 3 in the column of Cobalt United. I have to say though, Springroll, I mean, they have a lot of good things going for them. Their money isn't perfect, I'll be honest here. I mean, look at MXJ in particular. They're on 3,800, so they're going to either have to call it quits on some of the utility or pick up a Galil, and obviously they choose to go with the former. So a very light utility round, all things considered here. I mean, you only see actually 2 smokes on the board from Springroll here, but those kind of fast, aggressive plays is something that they're known for even way back in Season 32, and while it managed to work pretty well against open teams, having to do it in advance is a different situation entirely. You see Cobalt United are already responding to it, though, tossing down the molly as well as the smoke over towards the ramp, and basically warding off any early spam coming through from Springroll. There's a bit of counter spray here. This is probably like the most casual thing that you'll see on Vertigo, is just teams trading sprays back and forth, trying to find a kill. But it works to varying degrees of success. An entry from Homer is a pretty good degree of success. Meanwhile, for Springroll, or for Cobalt United, excuse me. For Springroll, though, they are in a bit of a tricky position now. Getting knocked down a player and unable to find it get traded, they're going to have to use a little utility that they have to end up executing onto this B bomb site. And, well, that shouldn't exactly be a worry at all. Just Too Easy, unfortunately, misses a smoke, though, which kind of throws a spanner in the works here. But they'll still try to make it work as much as they possibly can. Beef is at the ready, though, and behind that smoke, he won't actually be able to get anything done. 2 kills go the way of Springroll as the bomb goes down. So a 3 versus 3 in this retake scenario here. J-Dubs desperately searches for one, while his teammate pushes in through CT here. It's going to be a multi-pronged push. Even COVID-19 on the flank here will have to get one. I feel like he's actually the big player to watch at the moment. As Clipsanity finds that first kill, Just Too Easy tries striking back and indeed does it with extreme passion. Garrett is able to find the player on the flank here. Now Garrett actually needs to get on the bomb. J-Dubs is just holding it down. It's now at the right angle for Garrett to stop it. And it's just a free defuse for Cobalt United. Oh, Lord, that is unfortunate. Look, I know the Vertigo B site is revamped and it's a bit newer looking, but at the same time, Garrett had to be aware of that angle. I mean, that was like the perfect spot where J-Dubs was basically unstoppable. He was one of my players to watch for a reason, but this wasn't one of them. Definitely a way to catch you off guard. Poor Springroll. Again, knocked down a little bit here. Although it was closer round than usual from Cobalt United, again brought down only to 1 player at the end of the day. They still don't actually get that number in their column here, so they still have yet to pick one up here, even though their economy is actually looking pretty damn good, all things considered. Cobalt United are really struggling to get something together here. You see COVID-19 has to pick up a UMP and FAMAS for Beef here, and speaking of which, FAMAS will actually come back to bite him. Can't convert the kill onto XD, who's barely staying alive in this one. But COVID-19 is making it work with a UMP at least, so he got that going for him. Clipsanity will strike back with the M4, though, in the smoke, takes down Garrett here. Molly goes off to try to ward off the bomb plant here, but it doesn't exactly work to the degree of success that they were hoping. Homer will just get it done with a couple of bullets to the dome, though, and pick up 2 more. XD last alive here, probably just going to go ahead and save that AK-47. There's basically nothing he can do other than just keep that gun for another day, because 1v4 with 5 HP, that's one of those impossible tasks. That's kind of the more secure round that Cobalt United really needed to put together to, I guess, patch up any wounds that they had put into them by Springroll. I mean, Springroll, they were hitting them really heavy. They were cutting them open here, but, you know, Cobalt United have finally found the bandages and have patched up those wounds for the most part here, have a little bit more money, able to get AKs and M4s all in the works here, and on top of that, they're going for something aggressive over towards mid-A here. Actually 2-for-1 trade, excuse me. The T side is just immediately slaughtered! What was that from COVID-19? He was not the player I was expecting to find all those kills, but he gets a lineup in the matter of a couple of seconds. COVID-19 proves to be deadly both in the server and out of the server. And Cobalt United, they're staying flawless. It's 6-0 at the moment here with another dominant round under their belt. COVID is actually a suffix. That's their official gamer tag. I hate when people say that. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But, you know, they're the ones who want to call themselves COVID, so I'm going to be calling them COVID for now. Beef. He's going to go ahead and get farmed over at B as XC is quickly trying to make a entry frag happen over at B. Oh, that's unfortunate. Homer's actually able to find that kill, surprisingly. This is a bit of a weird route. I'll have to be completely honest. It started, and it looks like it's about to end incredibly quickly. I mean, pressing W seems to be the most successful tactic for Springroll so far, and considering they're getting a bomb plant out of it in a very favorable scenario, they might have just about finished up the round 2. Just too easy. He's able to take down the teammate Clip Sanity, and while it is traded out, that's pretty much all that he's going to be able to pull off at the end of the day. Just too easy. We'll go ahead and pick up another. And it's 6-1 now. So Springroll, unfortunately, ruined that 16-0 dream. 16-1 is still possible. I mean, again, now that they have started to win rounds in a little bit more of a convincing fashion, that means that they don't have to worry about their economy being broken as soon as Springroll pick one up. They have other things to worry about now, like if they lose this one, where are they going to find their money? The answer will have to be probably safe here. So, I mean, Springroll, in theory, if they win this second round here, they should be able to get a third just as quickly. Beef holds from an off angle, and surprisingly, it works out. MXJ, none the wiser to it. Beef actually doubles up, finds another. That's actually huge news. Clip Sanity, meanwhile, pushes over towards A. There's even pushes over at mid as well. XM will track it back just a little bit for the T side here. And quick duels, again, seem to be the name of the game for Springroll here. Although they are a man down, it's still a very much possible round for both sides of it. And that's what makes it so scary. Oh, Beef is looking for a little bit more as well. Look at this. You see him right by T-spawn as well. Has a rotation in case they try to bring it over towards a B bomb site, but don't turn away now. Don't turn away now, Beef. Oh my lord, he's managed to divide his fight. He's picked up one of the few players that I didn't think would actually be caught off guard. Beef is able to get it, wind about the halls here, and try to escape over towards A, but that just gives time for XM to pick up another kill. Now 3-2's tally, needs to find 2 more to go ahead and make this an ace, and not only that, a round for Springroll. A round that they so desperately need on top of that too. Woody Fly looking to pull off something a little extra, but J-Dubs pretty much has a perfect position to snuff this out. The angles, I can't believe it. It actually doesn't work out for him whatsoever. It's another kill. It's a quad kill for XM, and don't tell me he's going to pull off this 1 versus 3. No, that would just be absurd. Clip Sanity, though, won't go down without fighting. He soon just pushes into the site, excuse me, and tries closing the distance. Knows realistically where he can be hiding, but I'm not sure if he's exactly wise to the angle that XM will be holding here. Clip Sanity tosses down a smoke, tries tapping the bomb. Is he actually going to be sticking it? No, he actually knows the location of XM at this moment here. Now, XM needs to be careful because he knows he's going to be swinging it. That's unbelievable. It's an ace for XM. A 1 versus 3, and the clutch to finish it off. That is unreal. Oh, that was just incredible CS from start to finish, excuse me. He played that perfectly. I mean, he did get a little bit lucky with catching J-Dubs off guard like that. I mean, that was like the only angle that he could have been in to avoid getting detected. But, I mean, hell, at the end of the day, that's the angle. It won them the round here, and Springroll are up to 2. And as expected, Cobalt United don't have enough money to buy for 3, or to buy for this round here. So they're basically going to give Springroll 3 for free. Desert Eagles, 5.7s, P250s. Pretty standard pistols bought up here. You see Clip Sanity actually gets a little bit more. He bought full armor on top of it. I'm kind of surprised to see that considering they're only going to have 2,900 coming in. Clip Sanity might have to be stuck on FAMAS duty if this doesn't work out. Oh Christ, Beef, that off angle just led to him getting extremely blown out. Homer basically in kind of a miracle one and done position here. Probably is dead in the water at the moment. Yeah, in fact, he's just not even going to be able to find one before he is done. Nice little attempt at a crossfire over towards mid as well, but I think for the most part here, XM should just about clean up all the damage that Cobalt United have tried to inflict upon them. 6-3. Again, expected conversion, but stemming from an unexpected way. Always good stuff. Cobalt United will have another buy. Never mind, actually. I was wondering why they had so much money. They're actually going to be going for a double save here, so I'm wondering if that means that they want to buy up potentially an AWP into the next round in case they lose this one here, which, despite finding that first kill, is looking ever more likely. You see ops sometimes used. I believe in the past when I've seen Cobalt United on Vertigo, I want to say Beef sometimes likes playing it over towards B, but I might be thinking of a different player. Either way, it feels likely that we're going to see an op at this right here. Pretty quiet eco round, though. Not really too much to talk about. Simple enough. I mean, Springroll able to respond back after XM goes down. And just basically, you know, help their economy a little bit more here. Springroll don't have to be worrying about money for at least a little while now. They've been consistently getting this bomb plant, it feels like, almost every single time, if nothing else. Even in the rounds that they have lost. Considering things are going to look ever more gold for Springroll, I think Cobalt United should be using this time to maybe talk about how to switch things up. Again, I think that op idea could be interesting. Not exactly sure if it is going to come to fruition, but that double save does seem to kind of indicate that, doesn't it? Nonetheless, 3,400 put into the pockets of Cobalt United as that bomb detonates. And Springroll will keep things competitive on the T side of Vertigo. Alright, well, surely that full buy will be coming out now. Let's see if there's anything of note. I would imagine maybe COVID were to drop an op, if anybody. Okay, well, there's a sniper coming out, as expected. It's actually onto Homer. And Beef, again, will pick up his AUG. I mean, that AUG 2K that he got over at B a little while back was pretty huge. I'd love to see him try to recreate that success, as tall of an order that might be. Homer, I'm not sure if he spotted that angle. No, he's going to be able to spot this peek from XM in just a couple of seconds, so in case XM were to peek it dry, but I'm sure this man knows his angles here, knows that a flash just went out here, and here's the footsteps as well. Homer's backing up. Does he not hear the footsteps of XM? Oh my lord, apparently he gets out alive, but eventually Beef will be the first victim of the round here. Far from the last though, because again, Spring will continue their domination out onto the B bomb site now. Homer will find the first frag here, and indeed that op is coming into play. It's found two, and it's a 2-for-2 trade so far. Spring will yet to retrieve that bomb here, but that Molotov just might buy them a little bit more space to do it. The smoke goes out as well. Just Too Easy finds a kill right behind it, and Homer looks to continue with a sniper, but just a little bit off of the shot. Makes it so J-Dubs now has to do this all alone. He's behind the first player, MXJ, who denies, and he denies a bomb plant, but that's all he's able to get done. And eventually Springroll will come out on top of that bloodbath over at the B bomb site. That was a bit too close for comfort at a lot of points. I mean, Cobalt United, I feel like, had the right idea in a lot of situations. But that utility usage was just really damn good from Springroll, you know? I mean, Homer, I liked what he was doing with the AWP. It was just an unfortunate shot that he missed that third time around. And this time he's just domed out with even having a chance to get a single shot off, apparently. Beef picks up one with his lovely little 5-7 in the meantime here, but that's just going to do nothing but drag rotates out from Cobalt United. Since you hear all those footsteps removing themselves from A, this basically just buys Just Too Easy so much free information. Although Clip Sanity is able to find another kill, it's not the bomb carrier. However, it is an AK-47. That doesn't exactly make... I mean, that makes things a little bit more interesting. Surely, though, Springroll will be able to close this one out. In recent history, they've been doing a good job at converting some of these rounds into actual wins from either even scenarios or man-down scenarios. This is one of those man-down scenarios. Case in point right here. Clip Sanity is able to find one with the AK. Knows that the bomb is being planted as well. Take a look at this util from Springroll here. I'm surprised they're neglecting to use it, but maybe they don't need to if they're going to find kills. XE finds the first, and MXJ, who's been very, very quiet in this game so far, suddenly needs to show up, and he's not even going to have a chance. Snuffed out immediately. Cobalt United somehow pulled that one off. Was that an eco round too? I mean... that just did not feel right. Cobalt United basically snatched that one away. Springroll perhaps a little bit upset about that here, but again, Cobalt United couldn't be happier. Drop an AWP. This time it's over to Clip Sanity. Okay, no, I was curious on what they're trying to pull off there. Pretty much the same buy as we saw a couple rounds prior. Hopefully, though, the execution isn't as lacking as it was previously. Garrett searches for a pick over towards B and doesn't quite find anything yet, but has managed to bait out a decent amount of util from the CT. That's a smoke, a flash, and a Molotov, I believe it was, already taken out of the picture. Clip Sanity, though, doesn't care about how much utility usage you have. It's just more about finding those kills, and he will find one, that's for sure. Things off to a good note for Cobalt United, and a player boosted up. It's actually XM. This is a bit of an interesting angle here, but Homer is wise to it. Not sure if he was exactly pre-aiming that angle or he was just flicking all the way up, but nevertheless, he found that second shot, knew that there had to be more where that came from. When there's smoke, there's fire, etc., etc. That's basically the nail in the coffin for Springroll right there. A 2 versus 5 just seems nigh impossible for them to win, especially since J-Dubs, our player to watch, has been so patient this entire game. Think about that 1 versus 3 that he was stuck in. Obviously, he still lost at the end of the day, but patience has really been his virtue. And basically proves to be effective yet again. MXJ, the last victim of the round. Is this going to basically spell disaster for Springroll? This buy, it's shabby. They're just going to have to pick up their loose ends and try to make this one work here. 4 AK-47s and a Galil. It's been a rough game for MXJ, hasn't it? Currently 2-10. The stand-in so far this game has not had the chance to shine. Nor will it happen in round 14 either. Homer immediately takes him out of the picture, and hell, he doubles up, finds another one. This one's onto XE. Homer with this AWP, minus that one whiff shot that we saw a few rounds ago, has been on fire with the sniper and really converting a lot of important rounds for the side of the CTs. He's doing it again. He's found a 3K. He's on for an ace at the moment here. In fact, he just might pull it off, but oh my lord, just too easy. Hangs on by just a thread. 1 point of health. Couldn't be unluckier if he tried to script it. The damage is minimal from Springroll on the absolute best that they can manage. They had 4 AKs and a Galil forced up into this one here, which means that for round 15, they're not going to have much of anything to work with. Take a look at this buy. It is in shambles. Makes me look like Garrett's profile pick at the moment, man. I'm feeling sadga. Molly over at B. Response smoke from Beef. All right, so quick play from Springroll. It's worked out for them historically. This is usually when Homer finds 2 and then dies, at least, again, historically. But Homer, again, he's been really on something recently. I think that he can go ahead and try to one-up himself once more. He's 16-9 at the moment here. And if that's his resolution, I'm going to be copying him. Because right now, I think we should all resolve ourselves to be like Homer at the moment. Although Beef is the one stealing the headlines at the moment. All of his teammates will come in for a little bit of fun, though. And MXJ, despite being stuck in a 1 versus 4, can't even get a chance to breathe. I mean, Cobalt United, really, to say it succinctly, these have been some incredibly suffocating rounds for them. They really have been. Cobalt United, while they did have their fair share of hiccups towards the middle part of that first half, they definitely have stabilized and looked a lot better in recent history, and that sort of changes exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of Cobalt United. Now, as we head into the second half of play, though, it becomes a very different story. I mean, Vertigo is still the newest map in this pool. There is a decent amount of debate on whether this new redesign makes the map more T-sided or CT-sided. I'm still thinking that's a pretty CT-sided map, but I mean, Cobalt United, they started to hit some of their shots. Homer has started to hit some of his shots in particular, so I'm still interested to see if they can go ahead and continue their dominance so far. Peeks over towards mid and A. XM actually has a flash at the ready here. I kind of like that. That might be a perfect opportunity for Just Too Easy to try to aggress over towards A ramp. Really just kind of playing on contact at the moment. Cobalt United rather, choose to bring it over towards mid, toss down some smokes, and perhaps jump their way in towards B is what I would imagine. That is indeed the case here. Again, we're basically seeing a brand new playbook be brought into effect here. Springroll absolutely obliterated on the pistol round, though. What is this? It's insanely one-sided. I'm getting echoes of what the first pistol round was like, only for this time it's the other team entirely. Homer, yeah, you can do your best here, but you're at 4 HP. You're basically a liability, and he's dead before I even have the chance to finish my sentence. Springroll with an equally as one-sided pistol round here. Got themselves up to 6 here, and are starting to close that gap a little bit more. Cobalt, Cobalt, excuse me, surely are going to be just, well, I was going to say saving, but never mind. They want to buy up Deeks here. They actually think they have a real decent shot against Springroll here. I mean, I know they've been hitting their shots, but this seems a bit ambitious. Clip Sanity peeks out over towards B. Does he actually spot that XD? I think he does. Okay, yeah, he does. Backs off without exchanging many more bullets, though. Don't exactly want to lose your life early. That's one of the few things that Springroll could do at the moment to throw this round away. MXJ, though, perhaps taking a bit of a different approach to the situation here. Peeks out over towards mid here. Both are found doing a little bit of a jiggle back and forth here, but MXJ instead chooses to try to duck in towards CT and ends up dying. This is terrible. Cobalt United have actually found a really decent amount of space to work with. Now, yeah, they still need to retrieve the bomb, and yeah, 2 players are low on HP, but this is still incredibly scary. Made a lot less scary, actually. XM, as I say, that finds one more. That's a big danger taken out, you know? Now that they've snuffed out that one member of Cobalt United, a 2 versus 3 seems a lot more unlikely, and Springroll should be able to finish it out from here. I was a bit scared for a moment, though. I mean, it looked like it could have gone either way. But I think, again, we'll be brought back to reality. How does that headshot? That was not even close. What? That was not on the head, and you can't convince me otherwise. 4K for Woody Fly, picks up those ecoed players, and punishes the Deagle Buy of Cobalt United in a pretty strong fashion as well. Look how much money XM has to work with, too. Drop that blessed MP9 over to one of your friends here, because that apparently is the golden moneymaker. 3 MP9s and 2 M4s. Overall, pretty confident buy for Springroll. I don't exactly see the side of Cobalt United, getting away with much of anything. They don't exactly have a ton to work with in the first place. Minimal investment, minimal reward. XC, he's able to find 2 before he makes his way to the grave. Now it's up to the rest of his team to do a little bit of action here. Garrett won't struggle, nor MXJ, both of which combine to find the last remaining members of the server, I would hope at least. Indeed, that's the case. One-sided, and a pause comes through. Probably a decent time to be calling that one as well. I mean, this gap is starting to shrink a little bit more. Now that you have a full gun round in your hands, maybe Cobalt United can maybe think up how they want to take this first gun round. I mean, it makes sense. This of all times here. They're still in the lead, if just barely. But this is going to be, like, again, the really big first round for both of these teams here. This will decide the early momentum shift for this half here. I mean, 3 rounds in a row is already pretty great stuff for Springroll. If they keep it up, not only will they have even the scoreline, but they actually might be finding themselves in the driver's seat. Okay, I don't think this is another tactical pause. I'm thinking this is probably just a technical at this rate. Not the end of the world. I'm trying to think of things. I mean, Springroll, it's kind of hard to think of anything super unique that they have been doing towards the early parts of this half, because we've only seen 3 rounds, one of which, or 2 of which technically I'd say, were on pistols or against pistols. So it's like, it's hard to really draw any early conclusions on what Springroll are doing. They seem to respect the distance that Cobalt United have with their pistols, and I kind of like some of the B aggression that they're doing from players like XD. So I want to see if he goes ahead and continues that trend into round number 19. Molotov early, and will he push behind it? Yes, he will. So again, there's that early util usage. That's not exactly a very effective Molotov. Not that it matters though, because kills will actually happen through smoke instead. Poor little, I mean, just MXJ has been really bullied this entire game. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. He's had 6 kills, and he's been killed through smoke a couple of times now, it feels like. Great start for Cobalt United though. Now it's, again, 8 to 10, and also a 3 versus 5 at that. This is a sort of round that Cobalt United could definitely do themselves for to get themselves back into a more comfortable lead. I don't exactly think this would break the economy of Springroll. I think they would have like force in them. It wouldn't be a pretty full buy, you know? XM probably could pick one up just because he was farming money with that MP9 a little bit earlier on. But, I mean, players like XD, if he were to go down, I mean, he's basically going to be on scraps. Cobalt United, though, will make a conga line in towards the B-bomb site, where XD has now made his home yet again after leaving it temporarily. His humble abode has actually been set ablaze, excuse me. Now just has to dodge behind these pillars here, but he's being hard cleared. 2v4, this numbers game is working out for Cobalt United at the moment. Wittyfly is trying to close the distance, finds a player sitting behind the pillar. That's J-Dubs taken down, but again, another Molotov will go out. Cobalt United have flames for days here, and now, just too easy, needs to save his gun. Absolutely needs to. The money is going to be non-existent for Springroll in this next round here if that gun isn't saved, so it is absolutely vital that he keeps it for a rainy day, of which will be happening very soon. That being said, Cobalt United, they finally strike back after 3 in a row from Springroll. They get another one together and have effectively hurt the economy a lot of Springroll. As I mentioned previously here, the buy is going to be pretty dismal from Springroll. Oh, hell, it's going to be even more crippled now. Look at that, just too easy, just fell down at the last possible moment. 3 players can buy up fully, that's no problem. Just too easy, maybe on FAMAS duty. But, I mean, look at XD. This guy has 1750. Best he's going to hope for here is like, yeah, an MP9 drop. That's what I was expecting. This could kind of suit him well, though. I mean, he has been rather aggressive over at B, perhaps to a fault. If he tries to keep up that aggression, maybe it could work out. Well, case in point, there it is. Clip Sanity gets taken down by the MP9. Clip Sandy, it looks like he had the right idea of what he was expecting too. I mean, he saw that Molotov and jumped over to the left side of B, but still was caught off guard, so I don't know exactly what shook him out of there though, but I mean, a 4 versus 5 like that, Springroll will take anything they can get. This is definitely a player waiting behind sandbags at the moment. You see Beef is just completely at the ready. What a shot from him, though. Flicks around and takes down MXJ. Plays his angles to perfection. Just too easy between a rock and a hard place at the moment here. Basically, all he can hope for is rotates and a flash to come through. And there's a flash, and there's a rotates. He gets 1 kill. So he's done his job. He's done his part. Now it's up for the rest of the members of Springroll to do their parts as well. And indeed, they're coming together. A 2 versus 2. Oh, down into a 2 versus 1. Homer taps right back and gets another. XD needs to close the distance with the MP9, but at the end of the day, it's just an SMG. The $1,000 investment is good for 1 kill, and that's about it. Really great response from Cobalt United. Seriously, that was like the big punish that they really needed to pull off. Again, a force up from the side of Springroll was basically their last hurrah to, I guess, make this scoreline a little bit more even. I wouldn't say their last hurrah, but one of their final ones, that's for sure. Now stuck on pistols, they effectively have to give up round 13 to the side of Cobalt here, unless things were to go extremely wild, which I don't exactly foresee happening considering how Springroll have played this. But they're going to gamble to try to take it over towards that A bomb site here. By the noise of pistols going out here, surely they've realized it by now. Take that bomb, book it over towards B. No, are they actually still staying here? Oh my lord, Springroll are infested on this site. XM has a gun. It's kind of scary at this point. Surely you'll be able to close it out though. I'm not exactly too worried, but XM could perhaps throw a little bit of doubt in my mind. Alas though, it's nothing more than a distant memory. A distant dream. 1 versus 4. XM probably just going to save this AK-47 because 2400. I mean, they'll get a buy together. It's not going to be incredible, but anything helps. Again, round 13. Now goes the way of Cobalt United. They are seriously showing Springroll their stuff at the moment. Sure, this was an eco round, but on the gun round, they look pretty damn good while doing it as well. So, I mean, they seem to be able to do it no matter the setting. But being able to keep it up, that's a different question entirely. Not much wiggle room left to go either. 3 more rounds for Cobalt United to close this game out, and I mean, I don't feel like 16-8 would exactly do this game justice for how close then it's been at points. Definitely feels closer in a lot of respects, but well, who knows. Full buy up from both teams. Trying to work with everything they got. Again, you see XD tries to aggress but quickly backs off. XD, I mean, he's trying to hold the beef angle at the moment here. And although he gets the dink through, he's given up his position. He's compromising. In fact, he's done more than just give up his position. He's given up his life. 4v5. There's a spray through. Oh, God, this is a disaster. Springroll, this is the worst possible case scenario. Sure, just 2 easies on the flank here, but what can you hope other than a miracle 1 versus 5? He can't even find the first without struggling a consistent amount. This is buying so much time for Cobalt United to help him. It's a complete and utter disaster. 14 for Cobalt United in a flawless round. Yo, Mills, thank you so much for subscribing, dude. Holy shit. How have you been, man? I know your season has been turbulent, but I saw that you guys found a new 5th. JR0, I think it was. J-Bro. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it. But, yeah. Thanks for supporting me always, man. And good luck in the rest of the season for you, man, because, you know, you're pretty sick, honestly. Well, a little tactical pause. Yo, 3-1 since then? Damn, I had no idea, man. I know you guys started out like 1-3 or something like that, but what a glow up. Saying even in the season. Keeping the dream alive. That's what Springroll really need right now to keep their dream alive here. They have effectively brought out the AWP as a bit of a Hail Mary. I mean, it working, though, is a different question entirely here. After how that last gun round went, it seems like it's a complete disaster. But upping the pace immediately is already such a good switch. Look at this. Just too easy and Garrett already find 2 kills right off the bat of things. Crypsanity is going to try to swing out wide and find something a little bit more. But Springroll are going to go ahead and do the Cobalt right back to them. Don't tell me this is going to be a flawless round by Springroll and off the back of MP9s, no less. There is absolutely no rhyme or reason to what happens in this game. ESEA Advance is truly a treasure, and we are all just witnesses to it. 3 AK-47 upgrades for Springroll, even if they were to get 1v5 somehow, which, let's be real here, it's not going to happen. This already would have been a massive success. Seem to have staved off the inevitable for at least a little while longer. Is he actually going for this? No way, COVID. Okay, well, I don't think he was actually going to go for it here, but even if he did, it would have been cut short almost in, pretty much immediately. I was going to try to think of a fancy phrase for it, but no, he just would have been killed. Mills says playoffs still alive, and I mean, hey, the dream is still alive for Springroll. Again, that was a round that they obviously desperately needed to win, but the fact that they do it flawlessly, or nearly flawlessly at least, that's more than just a glow up, I mean, that's just something else entirely. Fight for life. Cobalt United now. Basically just searching for something to get them off on the right foot. That's a great start. J-Dubs actually pushes out and takes down MXJ. Again, MXJ has had a really rough draw so far, 6-19 at the moment. Hasn't had a lot of luck with a lot of scenarios so far, and things aren't really looking much better for him in this round either. Quickly taken care of here, and while XM will dispatch of one member in response, so will get equally as traded from J-Dubs yet again. He's found blood twice now in this round. This is huge news. This is exactly why he's my player to watch in so many different scenarios here. Clipsanity and J-Dubs just seem to really clear out entire sites together. This time, Cobalt even gets in on the action and takes down a player into his own regard. XD 1v3. Probably not going to be going for this here. Maybe just trying to retreat with that op. But, I mean, it's kind of rough no matter how you try to slice this one. Oh, my lord. He's actually going for it here. Yeah. There was almost no chance that he pulled that one off. Springroll might have just given up on the dream. Well, they have one more buy to string together. I mean, Springroll have done more with less. Again, they had a near flawless round when they had 4 MP9s and an op. They can probably get done when they have, what, 3 M4s and 2 MP9s? It's not impossible. Unlikely, yeah, but we've seen crazier things happen. It's been a real treat to watch this game so far here, and looks like we're starting to reach the end of it. I think it's so interesting that some of the players who have been, I would say, quiet for Cobalt United so far, but maybe I haven't exactly screamed, praise for, have actually really shown up in different ways. I mean, Homer, you can't deny the impact that he's had. He's 28-13, and while I have obviously pointed out how he's done a number of times, with his op kills on retakes and stuff like that, he's also just been such a killer. J-Dubs as well has had some incredible entries. I mean, it seriously has been a team effort from Cobalt United to make it this far. Springroll have had their moments of glory as well, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely been some rough patches for them. Players like MXJ have, I mean, I'm not going to say they've totally messed up or are doing terrible, but they're just having a bit of a rough time in a lot of places. They're 6-19. I hate to just point out the scoreboard and say that's what's going wrong, but MXJ has just been on the unfortunate receiving end of a lot of blows from Cobalt United, and it's got to be a bit demoralizing. Fun little technical pause, though. Trying to get that fixed up ASAP. Only so much I can do as an observer, of course, but I think we've basically talked our big storylines out here. Homer absolutely popping off. Clipsandy has had his moments as well. J-Dubs, I mean, with that double entry that he got in over towards the A bomb site, that single-handedly won the round alone. The MXJ, I mean, he's kind of subbing in and helping out for the side of Springroll at the moment here. I don't believe he's actually their main starter. So props to him for just stepping up, especially on a map like Vertigo, which, let me tell you, is an absolute nightmare. Did about 15 times better than I'll ever do in an advanced game. With players buying up, I think the end of this pause will be coming soon here. But if it lasts much longer, I'm probably just going to be calling a quick pause just so I don't wear my voice out. This is my third game of the night, so I mean, I guess I don't really have much to preserve at this point. How long is this tech pause going to go on for? Yeah, I suppose I can talk. Yeah, 3 games. I did a Winners League main game, and I also covered a friend's ESEA Open game a little bit earlier on rather. And just on time, all I had to do is mention ESEA Open, and then Cobalt United are like, oh god, please no. Right back into the action we go. 15-9, Cobalt United in a very comfortable position to close this one out right here, right now. You see a bit, well, obviously a gamble buy come out from Springroll. What choice do they have otherwise? Garrett is actually picking up the op, which I feel is the most interesting part of this, because it looks like he is basically playing a PowerPoint at the moment with how laggy he is. Clip Sanity, look at this angle. This is unreal. Does he spot the head? Oh my god, he does. That is killer. Clip Sanity, you can't just keep doing it to them. Luckily, look at Woodyfly is there to avenge his teammate and actually take out the teammate's accomplice. But no kill onto the player, the murderer himself. Garrett finds one despite the lag, is able to deliver on the snipes here, and it's looking better and better as time goes by for Springroll here, but not for long. Clip Sanity somehow gets a big idea to go ahead and try to spray down through that wall. Finds a kill, but traded right back by MXJ. Again, player that has been relatively quiet a lot of these times here has shown up, but one bullet left here, needs to stay alive more than anything here. They have regularly flushed this out with a Molotov though, so they need to be careful of him being hard cleared. He still holds the angle. Gorgeous shot from MXJ. A name I haven't said a lot here, especially in the terms of praise, but he definitely showed up right there, held down the site for so long, and Homer now needs a 1 versus 2 to win this out for his team, which I don't think is exactly possible. He finds a first kill like that. Last player is an MP9 all by his lonesome here, and he's dead on with the right angle that he's going to be coming from. Just too easy. Now on the flank here. Spotted out by Homer and taken down. What a way to finish it. Homer in a 1 versus 3. Absolute obliteration towards the end of it. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed the cast. That was a pretty crazy game to watch at a lot of points, so I mean, I don't know. I appreciate you guys watching. There's still lots more CS to happen down the line, though. So if you're interested in my casting whatsoever here, please drop me a follow, either my Twitch or my Twitter, or both if actually you're feeling really generous. But I just hope you guys have a good night. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great, great night. Later.